Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this, doesn't work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods, greats, legends. Just pick whichever one works for you, okay, and ignore the other ones. So here we sit 97 days, 5 hours, 54 minutes, and 55 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. And I'm excited as can be. And we can kind of catch our breath a little bit here and get ready for everything that's going to be transpiring because it's going to be coming hot and heavy. And I hope you guys join in tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern for our live stream. We have a great time in here having great discussions about the Cowboys. But I go through and I was looking at some of the comments, and a couple people were asking me, what is the deal with Jobu? Why do you have him? And a lot of you guys already know the story behind it. If you've been in this, for any length of time, you know the whole story and stuff. But for a lot of people that are new to the Jobu Sports Report and think that it's kind of weird to have a freaking voodoo doll, let me at least give you guys some background on how it all came about. What happened was, make a long story short, I had a friend of mine Richard, and if you remember Richard, when we went to Deep Creek, my friend who's a Steeler fan, who, when the Super Bowl was going to be in Dallas, was like, dude, man, my Steelers are going to be in the Super Bowl. I would literally die if I could be there. And I was like, I'd like to help you out, but can't get you my tickets. So I got a Steelers terrible towel and two Dallas Cowboy towels, and everywhere I went, I took the towels and took pictures of them. And that was Richard going to the Super Bowl. And they literally took on a life of their own. They ended up being with like John Gruden or Mike Golick. I had him with the NFL commissioner. I had him with James Brown. I had him with Phil Simms, Jim Kelly. So it was cool. And it was kind of like this whole big Facebook thing. This is long before I was doing YouTube or anything. Or, well, I've been doing YouTube since 2012, but nobody really started watching until 2016. And the next year, the Super Bowl was going to be in New Orleans. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go with a voodoo theme. And I went to Marie Labeau's voodoo shop and I bought a couple little voodoo trinkets, and I immediately got home and went to FedEx Field and started taking some pictures trying to hex the Redskins. And that's when this Eagle fan said, the Dallas Cowboys suck so bad that not even Joe Boo from the movie Major League could help him. So I went out, being a woodworker, I carved Jobu's head and made a body for him. And on Facebook, I started taking pictures of him and taking him places. So whenever I was at a stadium, I would go through pictures of him. People would laugh, ha ha, that's kind of funny. Or people would look and they would see me taking pictures of this voodoo doll, and they would stop by and ask, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm just taking pictures of Jobu, helping to spread the mojo for the Dallas Cowboys. And now that you ask, I have to take your picture and share it. So on Jobu's Facebook page, there's literally thousands of people that have had their picture taken with Jobu. But some things that were interesting that have happened. I don't know if there's anything to Jobu, and it's probably just a coincidence. But I'm just going to say, do you really want to take a chance? Because there have been times when things have happened and I almost go, did that really happen? I'll give you an example. When the Super Bowl was in Houston, Dak Prescott was supposed to be on First Take. We had an event that got home late in the morning, late at night, and I wanted to go to First Take to be in the studio office audience when it happened. But you literally need to be there about 4 hours early because the lines go up. And I overslept. So instead of getting there at 4 in the morning, I get there at 8. The line is literally wrapped around the building. And I'm like, there goes my chance. But right then and there, Dak Prescott's group comes in. So I'm only about 25 feet from him. Didn't get a chance to say anything to him and all that, but I timed it just right. And I was like, wow, that's kind of lucky. Because had I been in line, I would have never seen him. But this is where it really gets interesting because a fan came up to me and was like, yo, man, I watched Jobu Sports Report. And so I took his picture, started talking to him, doing a little Jobu Sports Report. And that's when ESPN just started grabbing, come on, everybody. They grabbed a bunch of us and they put us in for the entry of the show. So about 20 feet in front of me, I've got Molly, I've got Stephen A. Smith, and a former rapper and all that idiot on there as well. What really gets funny is after we did the entrance for it, Stephen A. comes through and starts high-fiving everybody. And so I've got Jobu up, and I go Stephen A, and he high-fives Jobu, and Jobu's hand gets caught in his sleeve and gets knocked down. And if you've been watching Jobu's Sports Report, you've seen Jobu get knocked out by Stephen A. Smith. It's like, did that really happen? Yeah, it really happened. But there are other things, because I get challenged all the time because, I'm always been a Dak Prescott fan. And when I tell people that, they're like, yeah, right, you just got on the bandwagon. But see, I went through because I wanted you guys to actually see some of the stuff. This is Cowboy Jobu. You'll notice the 16 jersey. And this is the stage at the draft. Now, we were fortunate that day 2 of the draft that we were sitting in the second row. And I went up and I put Jobu on the stage and I snapped a picture. My wife, who was there for work, she gave me that look that as a husband you never want to see. She's like, I can't believe you just put him on the stage. What are you thinking? It's like, look, I got to do this. Now I want you to look at the caption right here. Hey, do I have to hold up a sign, Jerry? Or can I just make the pick? Get Dak Prescott with our next pick. All you say that I've just gotten on the Dak Prescott bandwagon. There at the draft in Chicago, Jobu on the stage, boom. April 30th is when that was posted. Okay, coincidence. But a lot of things that have been kind of interesting that have happened, like, let me go through these. I just wanted to go through and just give you guys some context. If you look at this over here, this is Charles Haley. This is his Facebook profile. Okay? This is Charles Haley. I did a blog. I want you to take another look right here. I did a blog. That's Jobu right there. Talking about Tony Mandrich and the date, March 27, 2014 is when he posted that. He changed his Facebook profile to it because I was talking about the draft and how you have guys that, everybody thinks are going to be the great players and stuff. And Tony Mandrich was going to be the offensive lineman that was going to change and revolutionize football. And then you had a guy like Charles Haley, who was from a Division I AA school, who never had a winning record, who's drafted in the 4th round, and he's a guy with 5 rings. Tony Mandrich was kind of a journeyman. He kind of got an okay career, but never lived up to it. I wrote this blog. And this is at the time when Charles Haley was being denied to be into the Hall of Fame. And right after I wrote that blog is when Jobu became his Facebook profile. The very next year, he got in. I'm not saying it had anything to do with it. Just pointing out that coincidence. July 3rd, 2016. This is creepy. Jobu with the matchstick, bottle rocket right here. We had our buddy, the Giant fan right there. Hope you're having a great 4th of July. Remember to be safe, friends. And I shot that off. Shot a video. That was the same day that JPP blew his hand off. Like I said, I'm not claiming it. Coincidence. But there have been other things that have happened. Like the first time I took Jobu to a game, we actually went to New York. This is after the Giants won the Super Bowl, opening Monday Night Football. And this was the Giants' Super Bowl party. That's why I have actually a Giant scarf, because I got it from that. That's kind of like a trophy, a spoil of war and stuff, and that's why I hold on to it. Because when I went in there with Jobu, people were like, look at the Dallas Cowboy fan with this doll baby. And I was like, don't mess with Jobu. The guy who was actually sitting beside me, by halftime, he left. And by the end of the night, we ended up winning the game. In fact, we had, this play is my Facebook profile. It was a crazy night because Tony Romo threw an interception that should have been a pick 6. Tyron Smith ends up making an incredible tackle on the 3-yard line. And our defense, right there, I took this picture. made a goal line stand that was unbelievable, held them to a field goal, and went on to win that game. A game that they shouldn't, by all right, have won. And we were, as you can see, right here in the end zone. Not saying it had anything to do with it. By the end of the night, everybody was saying, "Fuck you, Jobu." Okay. Um, and there's other coincidences that happened. Like I said, I can't take any credit for it. This was another crazy one. We were actually FedEx Field. This was 2015. 2015, I believe it was. Or maybe that was the next year. But 2015, when Deshaun Jackson ran backwards, this is when Tony Romo was out. This was the one victory that the Dallas Cowboys got without Tony Romo. We should have lost that game. We couldn't score. But here it was, late in the fourth quarter. We punt the ball. Deshaun Jackson runs backwards from the 6-yard line, fumbles the ball. We get the ball, kick the field goal, and win. We're sitting in the end zone. Strange things. And even, here's another one. 2014, after RG3's rookie year, we went down to Richmond, the training camp. And we got this picture right here. Here's Jobu, RG3 walking by Jobu. Do I need to say anything more? Jobu with the New York Giants in their training facility. What have the Giants done since then? That's at FedEx Field. Oh, let's see. And this is the one I really feel bad about. Victor Cruz and Jobu at Giants training facilities. Jobu right there. He was never the same after that. Now, I'm not going out there and saying that Jobu is bad luck or anything like that, because in 2014 we recreated the scene of It's Very Bad to Steal Jobu's Rum in Tony Romo's locker. And Tony Romo had his best year, and that was the year that we should have went to the Super Bowl and won it. So I don't know if there's anything to Jobu, but that's just a little bit background. And I know that the fact that I'm sitting here is crazy to begin with, because I used to stutter. I used to have a hard time speaking in public. But I know that since I got Jobu, that it just kept kind of feeling like something was guiding me, and it just became real easy. It's easier for me to talk in public. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And anybody out there who knows me from high school knows how shy I was. I could not speak in public. I would literally piss my pants if I had to do a speech in front of people. I don't know if there's anything to it. All I know is good things have happened for me in the Dallas Cowboys when I've had Jobu. So that's the story of Jobu. You can believe it, not believe it, we're good. And if you think I'm going to get rid of him, I'm not. He's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm Mark Holmes, and hoping that you will tune in tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern for our live stream. And I'll see you guys soon.